Hold on because everything is about to shift. We just watched the video evidence. The prosecution thinks they have their smoking gun. But now the defense is calling their own witness. This is the moment the defendant gets to tell her side of the story. The question is, will her version match what we all just saw on that screen? Pay close attention because the next few minutes are going to be critical.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat. You may proceed.
Thank you. Okay, are you Benita Graham?
Yes.
Do you also go, are you also known as, you sometimes use the last name Green?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And Miss Benita, you're aware that there's an allegation in the motion to revoke your probation that you committed an offense of credit debit card abuse, correct?
Yes.
And it's alleged that credit or debit card abuse was committed on or about January 3rd of 2025.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go back. Do you recall going to Grove's Auto Body Shop?
Yes.
Okay. And why were you at the Grove's Auto Body Shop?
I was there to retrieve my vehicle after it was repaired.
Okay. Okay. And what was the nature of it? Were you in a wreck?
No, I wasn't per se in a wreck, but it got damaged on a speed bump, which took out all of the front part of the car.
Okay. Okay. And so you had an arrangement with Grove's Auto Body for them to make repairs to your vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the payment arrangement with the shop?
My deductible was $1,000 for me to pay. I went in and brought $500. And then there was payment arrangements made by the owner that I can pay $250 every 2 weeks to.
Okay, let's track this. Bonita came in on January 2nd, paid $500, had a remaining balance of $500. She claims to have paid $250 more in February over the phone, leaving one final $250 unpaid. That's the financial picture. Simple enough, right? But here's why it matters. She was at that shop picking up her car, which means she had a reason to be there. The defense is building a narrative she wasn't lurking. She was a customer. Keep that in mind as this story unfolds.
To pay the balance that was due.
Okay. Okay. So when you went in on January 2nd, how much did you pay the shop?
500.
Okay. And so there would have been a remaining balance of 500?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Now, after that 500 was paid, did you make any additional payments? Did you make any additional payments to pay off that remaining balance?
Yes.
And when did you make additional payments?
It was towards the first of the following month.
So it would have been in February?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go in person to make that payment or did you pay over the phone?
No, I didn't go in person. I paid over the phone with my card.
Okay. Okay. And so in total, did you make any other payment after that?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you would have, it appears you paid $750. Is that correct?
Yes.
So there would have been a remaining balance of $250.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you could explain, obviously you've seen a video that was brought into evidence, correct?
Yes.
Could you explain to the court when you were at the shop, when you made payment, and what were you waiting on while you were in there? Were you waiting on a receipt or?
I was waiting on the receipt for the payment as well as them to bring my vehicle around to the front part of the shop.
Okay. And as you were waiting, what were you doing?
First I was standing at the counter, and then when the lady at the counter informed me she had to go to get the car from the back, I had a seat in a chair. As I began to sit down, my keys fell. And when I went to bend down to pick up my keys, they slid. That's where I began to walk towards my keys.
Did you catch all of that? Keys dropped. Keys slid. She walked across the floor to retrieve them near the front desk. Now, on its own, that sounds completely reasonable. People drop their keys all the time. But remember, there is video of this moment, and the entire courtroom already watched it. The judge watched it. The prosecutor watched it. So when she tells this story, everyone in that room is mentally replaying the footage frame by frame. This is the gamble of testifying when there's video evidence. You'd better make sure your memory matches the tape.
I picked them up and put them in my right jacket pocket on the inside. And then I proceeded to sit back down until the lady came back from the back to the counter.
Okay. And when you did that, you sat down and then did you get up again?
I got up again because she came to the side door and informed me it would be just a minute. So as I was getting up, I stayed at the front counter after I was informed it would be just a minute. And at that time, I went to retrieve my receipt, which was there on the front desk without her being there. My receipt was there for the payment of $500. So I picked the receipt up and put it in my hand.
Okay, now, you've heard the testimony of Miss Morgan that, it appears that she said that's her wallet in your hand. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Okay, could you tell the court what all you had in your hand?
All I had in my hand was the papers, which was the receipt for what I had paid for my vehicle, my phone, and my keys.
Let me just stop you right now, Miss Graham. I
Yes.
want to admonish you, before you go any further,
Yes, ma'am.
that you are under oath
Yes, ma'am.
in a court of law, which means
Okay, stop right there. The judge just paused the entire proceeding to personally warn this witness about aggravated perjury. That is not a routine reminder. Judges do this when they believe someone is either lying or about to lie and they want it on the record. Aggravated perjury in a courtroom is a felony in Texas. So the judge is essentially saying, I see where this is going. Think very carefully about your next words. The courtroom just got 10 degrees colder. What does she do? She doubles down. She denies everything.
if you are not telling the truth, you can be charged with aggravated perjury because you're in a courtroom, which is another very serious felony. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so Ms. Graham, is it your testimony that you did not take the credit card of Ms. Brittany Morgan?
I did not.
And you did not make any of the purchases or the transactions that are stated on her bank statement?
I did not.
Okay. Have you ever been to the Murphy's gas station on Twin City?
I've been to Murphy's gas station on Twin City, but not to purchase gas. I've purchased cigarettes and soda or eating items. That's it.
Okay. And the type of vehicle do you have that you had? Do you still have that vehicle?
Yes,
Okay, and what model or year is that be?
2017,
Okay, and what type of vehicle is it?
a Rogue Nissan.
Okay, and does that vehicle have capabilities for Sirius XM radio?
Yes, it can.
Okay, did you make any purchases or do you listen to Sirius XM radio?
No, ma'am, I have canceled that prescription for years.
Okay, okay, so on last year, January of 2025, you did not make any purchases with this lady's card for Sirius XM or Murphy's, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and just briefly, just to so the court can have some clarification, what type of cancer are you diagnosed with?
Breast cancer at the time, stage 3.
Okay, so right now you have stage 3 breast cancer. Are you undergoing any type of chemo or radiation treatments?
Yes, both.
And how often do you have those treatments?
My radiation is once a week. My chemo, it's once every 2 weeks.
Okay, and do you receive those treatments in the Beaumont area or where?
It can be both Port Arthur and Beaumont.
Okay, and you've been working with doctors in regards to hopefully at some point to go into remission, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, is this your first bout with breast cancer?
No, it's not.
Okay, so this is cancer that has come back?
Yes,
Okay, okay. And you are aware of the allegations and how serious they are, correct?
I am.
And,
Yes,
with you're currently being on probation for credit or debit card abuse. I
yes,
understand that, and it's alleged that you committed the new offense of credit debit card abuse. Okay,
yes.
and so it was your decision to testify and to explain to the court what transpired in your opinion on that day. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Sharon.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning, Ms. Graham.
Good morning.
Very sorry to hear about your cancer diagnosis.
Thank you.
I just have a few questions for you, if I may. That is you that we see on that video, right?
Yes.
You're not disputing that, right?
No,
And you don't dispute the testimony that when you were placed on felony probation for credit card or debit card abuse, that you were explained the conditions of your probation. Somebody at the probation department explained them to you, correct?
Yes, correct.
You understood that to commit another criminal offense would subject you to having your probation revoked and potentially going to state jail. You understood that, right?
Yes,
And if you committed this offense, and if the judge finds that you did so, that would mean that you violated your terms and conditions of your probation, right?
yes,
Essentially violating it by doing the same or committing the same criminal conduct for which you were already on probation, if that's the finding that this court makes. You understand that?
yes,
Uh, Now, you do, in fact, either you live or lived at 4440 Gulfway, right?
correct,
And you don't dispute that that's in close proximity within a couple of miles of both that Murphy gas station and the Groves Auto Body Shop, correct?
correct,
And you don't dispute that either of those places are in Jefferson County, Texas, correct?
correct.
Uh, Now, what I'd like to do is play that video, and I want you to show me in that video where your keys go flying. I don't know what words in your mouth. What was your testimony about your keys?
I dropped my keys.
And
As I bent down to pick them up, they slid across.
it slid, again, I don't want to put words in your mouth. They
Mhm.
slid across to where?
But on the other side of, I guess it's by the young lady's desk that she described.
Thank you, Ms. Graham. I just want to make sure I got the series of events correctly. They dropped, when you went to go pick them up.
Yes,
They slid over to where the desk
yes.
was.
But they didn't slide along now. My foot kicked them. That's what made them slid. I didn't want you to think when they dropped, they slid.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the video with the court's permission. I want you to point out when the keys drop and then when the keys slide, if you don't mind, please. All right, for the record, we're about 3 minutes and 14 seconds into the video. Again, just stop, just give me a shout when the keys first, when they drop, and then we'll talk about when they slide. Gonna run it back to about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Let me stop.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
say, it should have been right at that moment.
Let me
Because-
let me run it back.
It should have been right there at that moment.
Let's try this. Let's look at this other side of it.
Okay.
And just give me a shout when you see the keys drop or when you see them slide.
Mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm. I have a conflict with the video.
Okay,
It's not showing what
Okay.
actually happened to me
all right,
or when at that time.
I understand. So you dispute what's on the video.
Yes, I do, sir.
This is a turning point. The prosecutor just played the video twice from 2 different angles and asked her to point out exactly when her keys dropped and slid across the floor. Her response: she can't find it, and she says the video doesn't show what actually happened. Think about what that means legally. Her defense hinges on the keys story explaining why she approached the front desk. If the keys moment doesn't appear on video, then what was she doing there? The prosecution doesn't have to prove she's lying. The video is doing that work for them.
Was there any reason why you should go behind that desk at the front counter?
No, sir.
Whoever misused that credit card or debit card for Miss Morgan, whoever did that, they should be held accountable, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
That's what the judge.
Any other questions?
No question, Sharon.
Before she steps down, I want you to put the video back in, please. There was additional testimony about her getting that receipt herself. And I thought when you initially started it at the 3-minute mark, it showed the clerk handing her receipt. So if you need to play it a little bit longer, I want to go through the whole thing and see it. You can,
Just trying to find the spot, Judge.
yeah. And if you want to just go back to where she was sitting, and the 2-minute mark,
Like 2:15.
we can start it about there.
Right there.
So that's after she went into the, Mr. Coleman, if you'll get ready to stop it, please,
Yes.
when I ask you to. Ms. Graham, I just want to ask you one more time,
Mm-hmm.
if that's your story and you're sticking with it, what you testified to.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go have a seat. Any other witnesses, Ms. Holmes?
No, Your Honor.
Now, just, if I may, just really quickly, 30-second summation or argument.
Sure.
Judge, understand there is some mitigation here with regard to this defendant's health, but her diet.
Let me real quick make my finding.
I understand, yes.
Yeah, yeah, and then I'll give you both an opportunity to argue.
Yes,
I'm going to find that based on the evidence presented, count 1 true, which is the allegation of committing the new offense of credit or debit card abuse on January 3rd of 2025. The state has abandoned count 2. Ms. Holmes, you may, I'll allow you to make argument.
Yes, Your Honor. I've reviewed this, well, obviously with Ms. Graham, she's aware of what the circumstances could be. Obviously, if this allegation was found true, that she could face up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Your Honor, we would like the court to take into consideration health factors, which Ms. Graham is undergoing treatment for her stage 3 breast cancer. If the court does not deem necessary to give Ms. Graham another chance at probation, that's obviously what we'll be asking for. If the court may consider some type of sanction to allow her to have another opportunity to show that she can be a model citizen and complete her probation. She would have completed the probation this year on her current probation, but for the new offense that is in the motion. Your Honor, we are at the mercy of the court. We are asking that the court either consider a sanction, or if the court does not consider a sanction and moves towards revocation, we are asking on the lower end of state jail time due to Ms. Graham's health. But she is aware of what the possibility could be now that the court has made that finding true. And so, Your Honor, we are at the mercy of the court. We are asking that the court consider giving Ms. Graham another chance to complete probation, or if there's any type of punishment that the court consider a sanction.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. Mr.
Your Honor.
Coleman.
Thank you. Just really briefly, it's unfortunate about her health situation, her cancer diagnosis, Your Honor, but it did not stop her from committing this offense. Judge, what good are our laws if we're not applying those laws equally across the board? She needs to be held accountable. It's not like she went out there and committed another offense, a different type of offense, criminal mischief or something. She committed the very same type of offense for which she was on felony probation for, credit card, debit card abuse. And it's not like she just happened upon that credit card, Judge. You saw that video, you saw the circumstances. This was surreptitious, it was calculating, it was She sat there in the presence of these two ladies, as if nothing went on whatsoever, Judge. I think that says something about this defendant. And I think that's something this court should take into account, Judge. And I think under these circumstances, this defendant has earned herself a probation revocation, and she's earned herself some state jail time, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Ms. Graham, the fact that you just sat up here under oath and bald-faced lied is beyond me. It's on video. We all saw it. You have put Ms. Holmes in a horrible predicament to try to help you because you haven't tried to help yourself. Had you taken responsibility from the very beginning, I absolutely would have considered some type of sanction and continuing you on probation. You have given me no choice. No choice. The purple wallet's in your hand. We can all see it. There's no keys that go across the room. You're standing up there looking in your jacket, trying to be sneaky at the desk to get it out of the cards out so you can put the wallet. You got handed the receipt. You lied and said that that's why you went around the counter. You have lied so much that you don't even know, and it's right there in front of you. Instead of just saying, I'm sorry, I was having a hard time. It was a crime of opportunity. I saw it. I made a terrible mistake. That's all you had to stand up here and do. And I gave you an opportunity and I reminded you. Are you sure that's your story? Twice I gave you that opportunity.
And there it is. The judge who has been watching silently, giving this defendant every opportunity to come clean, has finally reached her limit. What we just witnessed was something rare in a courtroom, a judge speaking not in legal language but in plain human terms. She didn't just find the allegation true, she spelled out exactly what she saw in that video: the purple wallet, no sliding keys, the deliberate reach into the jacket, and perhaps most importantly, she told the defendant, I gave you 2 chances to take responsibility, and you didn't. That decision, to lie under oath on video, just cost Bonita Graham 12 months in state jail.
I hate what you're making me do today. But at this time, I am going to find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation. I'm going to revoke your probation in cause number 23, DCCR 1828. Going to sentence you to a term of 18 months. Actually, I'm going to do 12 months in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. If you guys want to do something with that other case, that's fine. If not, we can reset it for an announcement on the other case. You can go back with the bailiff. Actually, I'm going to hand you, hold on. Y'all need to sign the trial court certification, Ms. Holmes. That shows that this was not an agreement. You have some rights to appeal. Let's see, I'm also going to hand you that written admonishment regarding ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Ms. Holmes, if you'll please go over that with her. Let me get Anna over this. Okay, thanks. I withdrew everything. I denied. Yeah, thanks.